Good evening, friends. Tonight I have to talk about something that is kind of, um, hopefully it comes out right. What I see in the world happening today, I connect directly to the way that privileged, pale-skinned people have treated the natives in their countries. So the worst of all, the oppression that's happening in the world right now is happening in Australia. And I read a novel once because I didn't realize that the pale-skinned Australians were very racist towards the native people there. I didn't know that. I read it in a novel, and it was so bad. It was like the worst, black on white on black racism that I've ever heard of. And that the people were so poor, that the native people were forced to live in real squalor in their own country, on their own, ancestral land. Okay. Um, I just, have been putting that together in my mind. To me, it's really obvious that the way you treat your native people is the way you will be treated by the Zionist. Because the headquarters of Zionism is Israel. Israel is basically the manifestation and the creation and the propagation and the success of Zionism. If the state of Israel did not exist, then there would be no Zion. Well, not that there wouldn't be a secret Zionist movement, but the fact that it does exist, and it clearly states in the Bible that you should not erect a place called Israel and stuff like that. But these people are satanic. Israel is the Talmudic, let's say Talmudic Judaism is basically just pure Satanism. Okay. So if you want to know anything about how they plan to treat native people all across the world, just look at Palestine. Palestine has walls that are 30 feet high, in those people's own land. These are Palestinian people whose ancestors lived on this land. They lived on the land for hundreds of years. They took care of the land. That's their land. That's their ancestral land. Their ancestors are buried there. But the Zionist, and I'm being very careful here because I don't want to use the word Jews, because first of all, they're not Jewish and they're not Semitic. Okay, number one, but also because I love them. I love the Haza friends that I have known and that I've met along the way. They've treated me really kind, and they may not even know their own history either. So I'm not I'm not suspicious of the people that call themselves Jews. You call yourself Jew, you believe that you're Semitic, you believe that you're Jewish, you believe that the Bible is talking about you as the chosen people and all that. So I don't want to be, critical of you because I didn't grow up in your shoes. I know that there's a lot of mind control going on in those communities, just like with any religious community. There's mind control going on. Doesn't matter what religion you're in. If you're in an organized religion situation, there's going to be mind control. But what I'm saying is Zionism seeks to take over the whole world. It's pinky in the brain. Okay, the Zionist movement is robust. It's very powerful. They own everything. They are the executives of everything. Okay, just look around your town. Where are you at? If you see a Target, I bet you that's probably owned by something doing with Zionism, because you don't have to be Jewish to be a Zionist, and you don't have to be a Zionist to be Jewish. Zionism is a political movement. It's called political Zionism, and it's the idea that the nation of Israel should be the rulership over the entire planet, and that every other people should be subservient to the Zionist people. I would like to say the Jewish people, but not really, because they're actually oppressing their own people really bad in Israel right now. And the Israeli people are under terrible, their freedoms are being limited and everything so badly right now, just like Australia. And so what I'm saying with this whole rant, because I know I'm kind of going around the bend, but what I'm saying is that the way that you treat your native population is the way that you will be treated by Zionists, because the Zionists can't do anything to you that you don't do to your native people. is karma. Okay? They have it like that. You have to consent. You have to say, yes, we agree with treating native people like animals and locking them up in cages with walls all around them, surveilling them 24/7, harassing them when they walk in the street. We agree with that. If you're white in America, and white America is getting fooled into it again. They already went through this back in the 40s and 50s, with the whole let's treat the native people like trash. They already went through that, and then they came out of it. They overcame it because it's not their idea. It's not white people. It's not inbred into white people that they are superior and that they need to treat the native people bad. Okay, white people are superior people. All of us are superior. We all have a superior aspect to us, and just like anybody else, white people love everybody. We all do. You know what I mean? And I know that's the case. None of us are really truly racist. Racism comes from Zionism. Zionism is the manufacturer of all of the isms: racism, sexism, classism, male superiority and chauvinism, you name it. Okay, the divisions between the haves and the have-nots, and the educated and the uneducated, and all of this stuff is arbitrary. You know what I'm saying? Because none of that stuff really defines who you are. Everybody has their own unique identity, and all of those details are really just very superfluous. Okay? I do not have a college degree. I am a black female. Okay? All of my stats, you would in your mind, if you're not evolved, you would form an opinion of me just based on my stats, but you would be way off. You would be way off the mark. You would be wrong. Because your stats they really don't identify you that much. You can with mundane things, okay, sure, you can identify some stuff like that. But when it comes to the overall picture of a human being, you can't define people by their stats. You can't define people by their, by their categories and stuff. So the society that we're in is run, operated, and everything. I don't want to say owned, because nobody can own you and nobody can own me. Nobody, like I said before, no one can own anything that comes from nature. If it's the earth, you can't own the earth. You can't own the water. You can't own the weather. You can't own these things. They use that language though. They think they own everything. They think they own the weather. They think they own the people. They feel like they are owners of everything. That's natural, because it's impossible and it's a fantasy. You can't own anything that's natural. So what I'm saying is, if you're a person who's fearful of black people, and you're fearful of the rise and the power of black and brown people because you're white and you're being instilled with a lot of fear, then I would ask you to just reflect on how much God loves you, okay? And reflect on how much the native people love you, because I'm native and I love all people. There's no people that I don't love. Okay? I love all of them. I love all of the people on the earth, every single group. The only ones I don't love are the Zionists, because they don't love anybody. They can't love. They're not capable of love. Those people are a different, thing. They're almost not even people anymore. And that's what they're trying to do to the general population. They're trying to turn us into a subhuman type of species. But we have to allow ourselves to open up. We have to allow ourselves to be human, because my world right now is stale. My world is constipated. When I look around, I see people anal retentive. They're afraid of me. They feel like, they don't want me to get loose. They don't want me to get buck wild. They don't want me to start doing the freak. You know what I'm saying? They're afraid. They're scared of that. They're scared of flavor. They're scared of native. They're scared of black. They don't want me to get with a black dude, or, they don't want me to find my soulmate in the black race or anything like that, because they're afraid. I'm in Whitetopia. So if you're not familiar with Whitetopia, it's a very special place. It's very special. It's very unique. But there are a lot of nice people here too. So, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but let's say like 30% of the people here are anal retentive, and everybody is just so focused on controlling me, right? Because I'm the wild card. because I'm a wild girl. I am wild. I'm a wild. I am native. I am wild. I am the roots of the tree, and I grow wild. So there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of suspicion, that I'm encountering, but these people don't even give me a chance. So they oppress me, and so they are oppressed because they don't realize that that's karma that they're doing to themselves. My theory, after examining the whole issue, and you guys, I think very deeply, after examining the whole issue of what's happening in the world today, where people's rights and freedoms are just completely thrown in the garbage. Who cares you worked here for 35 years? I don't care. You're going to let me stick this needle in you and give you this drug, or you ain't getting nothing. You can bounce. Corporations acting like that. And everybody just standing there. Nobody can do anything about it. Everybody's so numb, and it's karma. Okay? The way you treat your native people is the way that the Zionist people can treat you. They can't treat you any worse than you treat your natives. If you treat your natives with respect, and you just have a little courage, okay? Don't be a coward. Don't be afraid of me. I'm wild. Yes, I am wild. I might walk into the library with a bikini one day. I don't know what I might do. However, let that be a joy for you, because it used to be. I remember, I lived 35 years of freedom. I didn't have any oppression. I didn't have anybody bothering me. It was great. Okay? I did what I wanted to do, and nobody really cared. And nobody was afraid of that. Every now and then I had a little bit of, hateration every now and then, but it wasn't like it is now. Like, everybody is just micromanaging me to death. And it looks like death. When I look around, everything looks fucking stale. And excuse my language, but it just, it ain't right. It's not natural, and it's not right. So I encourage everyone, go out and hug your natives, and in America, those will be the black people. Okay, we are the natives here, whether we acknowledge it or not. If you think you're from Africa, you're still native. You ain't from Africa. Okay, your ancestors didn't come from Africa, I guarantee you. So it doesn't matter if you know who you are or not. It doesn't matter. Okay, so everybody, try to have a little courage. Let's stop competing with one another. We all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. Okay, we're not all the same. Okay, it feels more stale and safe than ever, and the safety is what is going to destroy this country. This is supposed to be the land of the free. It will be the land of the beast if you can't figure it out. Okay, freedom is not easy all the time. It's not always safe. It's not always comfortable. It's not always a warm cozy for you. Okay, sometimes it is, and sometimes it's very rewarding. Sometimes it's spontaneous and interesting. All that stuff I haven't seen in a long time. Everything's been stagnant. Everything's been stale. So everybody, please, let's stop competing with one another. Let's try to have patience. Okay, let's try to have a little bit of spine, a little bit of backbone. All right, because the Zionists they will oppress you. They will oppress us all as much as we oppress each other, and as much as we oppress ourselves. So let's love ourselves. Okay, I love you. Bye.